Hello people of the internet, you know what time it is, it's time for another video, and today we're going to be doing a PC build for just under £1,000. Now the build that I'm about to showcase in this video is pretty great for most gaming. Now this system can probably handle streaming, it can probably handle recording, it can probably handle whatever you throw it at, and it's mostly aimed at the gaming audience. Now before I begin, I just want to mention that you can change any of the parts in this build. If you don't feel like my opinion or what I think is right, you can absolutely change it and go for it. So let's get the build started right away with the processor or the CPU, and for the CPU we've gone with the AMD Ryzen 5 3600, which comes with a CPU cooler. Now this CPU is pretty great, and for most people I feel like this CPU is absolutely amazing, and considering it's also unlocked down the line, you could get a better cooler, overclock it, and get a bit more performance out of it. But to be honest, I feel like for most games, and even light, heavy video editing stuff, I feel like the CPU is pretty perfect. Now for the motherboard, I've gone with the MSI B450 Tomahawk Max ATX motherboard. Now the reason why we've chosen this motherboard over some other ones is because this actually comes with support for the AMD 3000 series, and also it's an incredibly popular motherboard because it's got a lot of good features for the money, and also it's got AMD, desktop 3000 support, which means that you won't have to deal with any of the, the struggle of trying to find the right motherboard. When it comes to memory, I've gone with 16 gigabytes of memory from G-Skill Ripjaws to be exact. Now this RAM, it doesn't have RGB, it is not flashy, but at the end of the day, we're not going for flashiness, we're just going for, speed, performance, stuff like that, and this RAM definitely does the job. And also I want to just quickly mention this motherboard does have 4 RAM slots, so if you want to have 32 gigabytes of memory, which is not needed now, but maybe down the line you want to have some more RAM on your system, you can literally just buy another kit of this and then plop it into the system, which is pretty great. Now when it comes to storage, I've gone with the Western Digital 500GB SSD, which is 50 quid. Now this system will be your boot drive for Windows, and also there's also another drive, which is a more slower mechanical hard drive, which is 2 terabytes from Seagate, and that one's 50 quid. The reason why we've got this 500GB, super fast storage, and then we got this, slow 2 terabyte hard drive, is because most games still run pretty great on a hard drive. There are very, very few games that actually take advantage of an SSD. I mean, don't get me wrong, you'll get fast load times and such, but to be honest, if you have a game like Rainbow Six Siege on a hard drive or CSGO, it's not going to feel that much faster than if it was on an SSD. But an OS on an SSD is essential, especially on a system of this grade. So that's the reason why we've got this SSD and hard drive configuration. Now, if you just if you want to spend 950 quid, you can literally just get rid of the hard drive. However, considering that games like Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone, and stuff like that is so big, I feel like having the 2 terabyte hard drive is an absolute necessary step. Now for the video card, this is where things get a bit complicated, because as the time of recording this, the RTX 3070 is not available yet. Now the price on Nvidia that has announced is $500, which is what the RTX 2070 Super used to be. So the video card that I've chosen for this build is a Gigabyte GeForce RTX 2070 Super. Now bear in mind, in a couple of weeks' time, you might be able to get the 3070 Super for the just the normal 3070. You get the RTX 3070 for the same price as this. So this card is kind of like a placeholder, but if you need this computer right now, the RTX 2070 Super is an absolutely amazing graphics card and will easily do 1440p gaming at 120 frames per second. Easy, and even some, moderate 4K gaming. It is an absolutely fantastic card. When it comes to the case, I've gone with the NZXT H510 ATX mid-tower case. This case looks pretty great. It fits on motherboard, it fits everything, and to be honest, it's a pretty great motherboard. And for the power supply, we've gone with the Corsair TXM Gold 550 watt 80 plus gold certified semi-modular power supply for ATX systems. Now the reason why we go with a modular power supply and a gold rated one at this, for this build, is actually because the RTX 30 series will be using custom, effectively they've got different adapters and stuff. And if you, down the line, if you want to make your system look super clean, you can actually buy a dedicated cable and plug it directly into this semi-modular ATX power supply. And as someone who's actually owns this power supply in their current system, this power supply is absolutely great. just gets the job done, doesn't have anything flashy, and it's more than plenty for our system. Anyways, that about does it. This is the PC build for under £1,000. I feel like for most people this will be an absolutely great build. Now bear in mind that in a 1 or 2 months time I'm probably gonna have to update this because there's a lot of new processors, graphics cards, stuff coming out soon. So I think it's important to consider just, if you're, come back in about, 2 months and just, just check if I've got a new PC build out. Anyways, it's been Effect, and I'll be signing out.